Good morning, everyone. I'm Jen, and welcome to my channel. So as a lot of you know, I am a woman in long-term recovery. I'm a CARC, I'm a CRPA, which basically means I'm an advocate and I'm a recovery coach. I'm also a rape crisis counselor and a Narcan trainer. So if you look at my description box down below, you will find the link to my Patreon, my merchandise, my Amazon wish list, which is super, super special to me. I use it to help the local people in my community that just need a little extra help, especially now during COVID. And right now, if you guys could, I have like no size 6 diapers, and that for some reason it's like the babies go all in the same time. I don't know, I feel like everyone gets pregnant and has babies around the same time, like, and it seems like I run in groups, like either I have like no newborn, no one, and then all of a sudden everybody's all in the same size, like size 6, and right now I have no size 6. So if you guys could hook me up with some size 6 diapers, that'd be amazing. So let's see, today is Sunday. I am actually waiting for Bella to come over. As soon as I get more information on our court date, I will give you guys a proper video. But today I'm going to share something with you guys that's really, really special to me and kind of blows my mind that I'm even a part of it. So I'm going to share with you that I was invited by the Delaware County Sheriff to sit on a reform committee for the police department. So Governor Cuomo handed out an executive order stating that we had to come up, each county, had to come up with a reform policy for their policing activities, if you will. And he gave, parameters of what he wanted done and the time frame. And in a sense, I'm actually kind of grateful to Cuomo for it, because it goes to show that he realizes, Delaware County is not the same as New York City and vice versa. So it's not a cookie cutter model that every area needs. And I was invited to sit on this committee and be a part of this reform. And for me, this is just super special, because it then shows that I'm now a part of prison reform in a sense, because I'm able to advocate for people that are still out there, still active in their addiction, still going through the arrest process and whatnot. And to me, that's just absolutely super special to be able to do. So as of right now, I'm actually making up a survey for our county, for our recovery community. So this way they can feel like they have a voice too, and tell us how they feel when certain things happen, and find out, if we need to. So the police department that this would cover would be the Delaware County Sheriff's Department. And I want to make sure that they feel that the deputies who either come to the scene when they are involved in a dispute, or God forbid an overdose, or domestic violence, or their mental health is off, so someone calls on them, I want to make sure that they feel like the deputies are educated and know about substance use disorder and about mental health illnesses, and they don't just, I've seen far too many calls for mental health just kind of get pushed aside because we don't have the resources, or our deputies don't have the education for it. And I feel like that's a very, very important component for our recovery community. I mean, and just the community in general, because let's face it, these days, all our mental health is off. We're facing a global pandemic that we've never, ever had to deal with before in our lives. And everyone is just feeling the crunch or the pressure, or however you want to call it, the sadness. I mean, really, I think that's really what it is. So the videos, believe it or not, are streamed live on YouTube. Jessica Vecchione, the director of SMACT, is in charge of the social media aspect of it and just the media aspect of it altogether. And she has made it so when the committee meets, it is streamed live on YouTube. So I will put the link below so you guys can check that out. And we have been in the paper several times, and I'm super proud to say this is actually the first time since I've come home that I'm in the newspaper, and this is the first time I'm in the newspaper and not in the police blotter. So yeah, okay. I sent Jared a link to it, and I was like, hey, look, I'm in the paper, and he was like, and not in the police blotter, and I was like, hey, maybe we do grow up. So I will actually I will put I took some screenshots of what they said, and they actually quoted me accurately. And I am very forthcoming, and I tell everybody I am a woman in long-term recovery. I am a former inmate. I am a woman navigating parole. I am, I lay it out on the line because it's made me who I am today. So I'm just really grateful to be a part of this committee. And I'm just really proud. I feel like this is finally a chance for me to use my little but powerful voice. And I say little because, I live in an area where it's the good old boys club, and it tends to be very hard to redo your resume, so to speak. And by resume, I mean people have a judgment of who they think I am because of my past, or what they think I am limited to as far as capability, because I am a drug addict and I am a woman in recovery. And I am here to show them that we do recover and that we can do amazing things, and we all slip and fall sometimes, but I'm gonna keep getting back up every motherfucking time. So I was asked to sit on the committee. I went and met with the sheriff, and I'm a big enough person to admit it. I had a preconceived notion about who he was and what he was, and I am super grateful to report that I was 100% wrong. He is actually very open to learning. He is very open to hearing what I have to say and what other people say. A very close mutual friend of both of ours was like, he's very approachable. And I was like, yeah, no, he's not. And she was like, no, but for real, he is. She was like, email him, set up an appointment. And I was like, all right. What do I have to lose, right? I'm on the committee. What are they going to do? Tell me I can't be? All right, well, then I'll know where I stand, right? So I went and I met with him, and I was very impressed. He was very warm and friendly, and he heard me out on a lot of things, and he was very honest, and I think if we can all come together more openly like this, I think I can't speak for anyone else's area, but I can say for mine, I'm actually for once very hopeful that we could possibly make a positive change and maybe make things better, different, helpful, hopeful. I suggested that I think it's very important that we have a mental health peer and a recovery peer on staff, so this way they can walk people through. For me, when I was arrested, if I would have possibly had a peer there for me to, when I was being arraigned and being booked. I mean, now we have the bail reform, so people more than likely don't get incarcerated straight from their hearing, from their arraignment. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. But if I feel like there should be a peer there at the arraignment, so this way, the person can, get explained to them what's going on. And then they can make an appointment like, hey, meet with me. A part of your arraignment is you have to meet with this peer one time before your court date. And then if you choose to meet more, that's fine. But it's a mandation from the court date that you meet with this peer. Because then maybe it can give people options. Because I'm the type of peer that sits down and I'm like, bro, I feel you. Like, I literally was where you're at. Like, let's try and get it together a little bit. Even just for your court date, like, let's try and get it together. Because I'm the type that I don't care why you get on that path. Let's just get you on it. I just feel like maybe people can then relate to me or other peers because lived life experience is where it's at, right? Like, I could read books all day long that tell me how to fly helicopters, but at the end of the day, I ain't never fly a helicopter a day in my life. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Just because I read it in a book doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. So I think that, and then I think mental health peers, like when people are, when Sheriff's Department deputies are being called for, mental health issues. If there was a mental health peer on board, I mean, let's face it, cops are busy. They got shit to do. They don't have time to take the compassionate side sometimes. I mean, I don't want to make this seem like that's how they all are, because there's some that will take all day. But if there was a mental health peer, it would also free up them to be able to do other things. And I feel like there needs to be a domestic violence advocate as well. Domestic violence is rampant in our area, especially during COVID. You have people that normally aren't home together all day. Now they're forced to stay home together. You have children who are now seeing things that they didn't see because they were at school, and now they're not at school because of all the shutdowns and closures. And even not during a time of COVID, we need these things. Let's face it, in these small rural areas, most of the sheriffs and cops, I can't say about the troopers because they do have an even mix because I've been arrested by plenty of female troopers, but more than likely it's usually males. If you've just been sexually assaulted or abused in some way and you're a female, you really don't want a guy to talk to. You would probably feel more safe, more comfortable, more confident if you had a female officer, advocate, somebody, it just, and sometimes, unfortunately, that's not always the case right off the bat. So I feel like that's another important thing that we need to have. And I said all this during our meet and greet meeting, which is the YouTube that I'll link. And I was actually quoted 100% accurately, which never happens, for the paper. So I was really, really pleasantly surprised and happy about that. I'm just really proud that I'm able to be a part of this and really try and advocate for my fellow community members to make Delaware County a happier, more productive, safe space for everyone, the community members and the sheriff's office as well. And it just really shows to me that if you just really keep trying and doing the next right thing, that amazing things can happen. And I just feel like this is just the first step for me becoming a set in stone concrete advocate for the people in my community. I already get on my soapbox whenever I can and talk about prison reform and recovery and every other, thing, like, as you guys know. But this is just a bigger platform for me, and I hope to parlay it into being able to do even more all the way up to the state level for reform for inmates in state prison, because that's really my heart, because I am one of those inmates. Technically, I'm just doing my time on the outside right now. Hopefully in the next couple of days I find out about my merit date, because Thursday is the 24th, I believe. So that's my merit date. So, I just want to make a difference, and I feel like I'm really finally getting the chance to. I will put some links below to the newspaper article and whatnot, but I will also show you guys here. So this way, if you have problems with the links, I'm really proud of this one. It's crazy. I got invited to be able to be a part of this as currently being a woman on parole. And that's just, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm super proud of it. So if you have any questions about anything that I'm working on or any suggestions, because I'm always open to those, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Remember, I'm just one message away, and I will see you all in the next couple of days. Bye.